don't see these very often, right? I know, but then look at that. We see this even less. A TSX Wagon, look how cool this thing is. So it's here for coilovers. We're gonna do an initial measure right now before we go up in the air, just so we have a starting point. It's always best to have them on a perfectly flat slab like this, so you know where you are starting, and then we have an idea where he wants it to go. We'll show you all of that here in a minute. We're just getting the pads in line, and we'll put it up in the air, take a look at the coilover of choice. This could definitely use a paint correction. See the swirls in this? This would really come up. Looks like it's got decent paint on it. Yeah, it would definitely make a difference though, wouldn't it? Hopefully we can talk him into that, or just suggest it. One of those things, you don't realize how good the paint can look until you've had a proper paint correction, because it's got so much metallic and pearl in this paint. What do we got?
Ooh, TIEN.
TIEN.
Don't know which version yet, but...
Or as people like to call it, TEN. I actually met the TIEN guys and they actually called it TIEN, so that's why I stuck with it.
I'd say call it whatever you want to make sure your car gets lower.
That's true. Just make sure you pay for it. Actually, the TIEN guys came by here, didn't they?
Yeah.
You remember they was doing a tour and they brought us a whole bag full of stuff?
A bunch of random stuff.
A bunch of stuff and...
The street advances, we have to pull his shocks apart for all the top hats.
Yeah, okay, just notice that. No top hats. So if you was to get the flexes, it would come with top hats. Everything would be assembled. These, you put partially your top section onto these. That's all right. Just a little bit more labor, but end result is pretty much the same. Yeah, we'll put that on. I should have filmed it. We just did an exhaust on that, full titanium exhaust. So always good to check that we have the key for the lugs before the customer leaves, and he told us it was in the passenger side, so we are good to go. Let's break these loose, then we'll go up in the air. So we'll drop the fork right here. There is a chance that if we take these bolts out here, that will come out. I doubt it, because it never is that easy. You've usually got to drop the upper or the lower control arm, but you never know. Sometimes you get lucky. It's only going to save us about 10 minutes. But you always try the easy route first, or the shorter time-taking route, right? So if this comes out far enough, this might come out from there. What do you guys guess? You think it'll work? Or you think we're going to be dropping either that joint there or the joint? There you go, steering end link. So if you haven't done this before, look how many threads hold the top of the shock in there. That's why when you take the 314s out, it doesn't come out, because it's got the 312s holding it on also. So next thing, we need the top hat from this, which is this section. There is this metal part here, and then this rubber isolator. That all goes onto the TIENs. It'll probably come with a new nut, so we shouldn't need to reuse that. We'll keep it all together and give it back just in case. Back right here.
It's hitting the body now, so it's gotta, something's either gotta come apart, or if we push the suspension down, maybe. There's sway bar, so we can do either side individually.
That's what it looks like. That's the shock. This is what it looks like in pieces. This is the rubber boot that comes off it. This is the top hat that we need. These are the two washers and the nut right there. So none of this we're gonna keep. I'll check the instructions. We might need that taper washer right there. That is a pretty beefy washer. I'll try and do it one-handed, but that sits on top of that stanchion right there. Not sure if we need that or not. See, it's got a taper in there. It's a heavy-duty piece. Let's check to the instructions. That is one together. I'll double check the height. I went by what TIEN say for the measurements, but we'll see if that's correct. This is all put together. So rule of thumb, if the numbers are scraped off the springs, which some of these are visible, rule of thumb, front ones are a thicker spring. You see the actual diameter of the coil right there? It's quite a bit bigger. So rule of thumb, always go with the thicker one in the front. That isn't always the case. Cars that are closer to 50-50, these tend to be very, very similar. But something like this car, absolutely for sure, thick spring goes on the front. That is put together, that can go on the car, and then we'll go to the other side. You're doing rattling around in there.
Trying to get this bolt out.
Endless bolt.
Yeah.
I like it how you're gloating with your headband lamp. I still can't find mine. I feel like I pulled it out to show it in a video and then left it somewhere and I can't find it.
It's gotta be around here somewhere.
I've had it over a year too. Is that the controller bolt you're taking out?
Yeah.
Do you need me to help you? You got it?
Just need to get the bolt out. If you can get the bolt out differently.
I can on video.
Yeah.
You know what you do? Pause the video,
Yeah,
pull the bolt out and you go, there it is.
Yeah.
That was easy enough. All right, little excitement right here. A little bit of PV blast from the threads. And then we're gonna use the automatic spring compressor to remove this. It will sometimes tap the threads on the last section right here. So if you're keeping the shock, I wouldn't recommend doing it this way, but if you don't care about it, you just want the parts that we need, this is much faster. So foot on the old shock, socket on here, press the button, fingers crossed it don't fly my foot across the room. Ready? Gotta keep the bolt on there, one-handed. Ready? Ready? Anticlimactic. You'd think off a Cord wagon, this thing would have like 10,000 pounds of pressure across there and flowing it across the shop like it used to in the Civic days. But it's actually not that bad. All right, fronts together. Make sure it locates in here. If not, it will eventually end up in there, but it could damage it. It's going to affect your height. We set these up as the way TIEN-esque. There is a little buck about that, and the rear is the same. So we'll put it on, see how close it is. All right, front is on. We'll lock everything down once the weight of the car is on there. And that's it pretty much. Just got my steering knuckles to hook up right here, both sides. Make sure your ABS wire goes back on. Make sure it is seated in there. You see that? It's easy to have a gap in there. What'll happen, you'll adjust the height and then you'll hit a bump and then that will seat inside there. And then the car will be lower on that corner. This is like 26 years of doing, 26 years? Yeah. That's how I know that kind of thing, because I've done it. You put the car together, you drive for a week, you come back and you go, why is that lower? And then you find out, no gap. That was our original measurements right there. Hi, Esther.
Hi.
It's a little lower in the front than what he wants. Back is right, back is down about 20 millimeters from where it was. So it needs to go maybe another quarter in the front to get that where it needs to be. How far are you going?
Like 5 millimeter.
That'll be a metric millimeter or an imperial millimeter. So if you've seen these, they only have basically the one adjustment. You see how much we've gone up already. These rings lock together. If this was the Flex, they have two separate. They have one on the bottom and then one to lock together on the spring. So typically when you start adjusting these, once you get into the spring and start preloading the spring, it doesn't equate to the exact amount you move it. So if you move it quarter an inch when you're pressurizing the spring, it might actually go up half an inch or 5/8 just because it's changing the spring rate.
I think it came about an eighth.
So
Go
5
ahead.
millimeter brought it up an 1/8.
Yeah.
Wow, these things are good, aren't they? Yeah, you can see it's definitely noticeably lower. I don't know if you can see out there. Esther, go there.
What's out there?
Follow me out here. Follow me out here. I should be getting picked up tomorrow. It's that blue car over there.
Oh, that's pretty.
That could be all you.
Is that mine?
It could be.
Matches my shirt.
I know. If you got one, would you drive it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Do you know what it is?
Oh, it's a Type S.
Yeah. Don't that like appeal to you at all?
Yeah, it's pretty.
What about this super cambered lower thing over there?
Whose blue one is this?
It's our next job.
Oh,
He just
okay.
dropped it off 2 minutes ago. You was on the phone. What about one of those? Would you trade your Rogan for one of those?
No.
That don't even have a model number. That's just called a Jeep. It's a Jeep. That's it. No model number.
I
I know, you do match the car.
Yeah.
This is called White Orchid. It matches the little stuffed animal. He has a baby, so that matches the interior. Look how pretty they are.
They're pretty.
This is essentially the Type R, a little softer.
Yeah.
So if the Type R is a little harsh, a little, you know, rough around the edges, it's not rough around the edges, but a little sharp suspension. This is a little softer. Essentially the same car, same motor, same transmission, same brakes, big brakes. It says Acura on it instead of Honda. What do you think? Do you want one of these?
It's a stick.
Stick. This could be all you. Putting you on the spot, aren't I? You love it when I just pull the camera out and put you on the spot. Everybody loves that. Everybody loves that.
It is beautiful.
It is. It's super pretty.
Maybe we should look at the SUV.
Why do you want an SUV? You know you're a mom, but you don't have to constantly say you're a mom.
I know that, but I can't.
Kids don't need to be changed in the back anymore.
No,
that
they don't.
excuse for a diaper change in the back.
My car is the family car. What am I supposed to do? Put the dog in the back?
Don't take the dog.
The dog has to go.
Dog doesn't go in cars. Leave the dog at home. That's what backyard's for. Hey dog, go to the backyard.
Yeah.
Sit in it. Think about it. I'll come back. End of the video. We're going to go down to Acura. Esther's going to sign and drive Type S. I did a video on a heat shield. That was the car. Didn't really do too much more about it. We were so busy I didn't get much chance to film it, but 425 to 80 torque, 10 pounds of boost. And it was what, 56 and 30?
45.
45, so we're up 10 from what TIEN said.
Yeah.
And it does actually have the wagon, look, TSX Sport Wagon. That's probably the problem because of in Japan it's not called a Acura TSX, it's called a Honda Accord wagon, right? Maybe the Japanese one is lighter. So we've gone up 10 millimeters over their specs in 2 increments. We're going to go do another 5 millimeters. Like I said, once you start getting into that spring, that's when it moves a lot. One thing, the TIEN hardware is actually pretty nice. These right here, one key fits on both, but they actually do a pretty good job. The lock in there pretty nice. That looks pretty damn perfect. You want to measure it just to confirm it, but the camera says it's good. The viewers at home say it's okay.
Do they?
There's one guy in the comments said he sucks.
Oh, okay.
And he said you did it wrong. And he said don't use that. Don't use a yardstick, use a millimeter stick.
Okay, that's
Yeah, and don't use it made out of aluminum. It should be made out of carbon fiber. It should come from France, because that's the only place that has the meter that's perfectly correct. Is it France?
I don't know.
I should know that. It was only in engineering school. That's why engineering school is a waste of time.
How does that look?
Ooh, it's not bad.
Not bad? Okay, good.
So it's actually pretty close. I want to take it outside and get some visuals, because of course you always do it by height, make sure it's correct, but visual is, to me, one of the most important, because that's what you look at.
You also want to drive it up and down the street and measure again after that too.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good. Doesn't this wagon look so cool? I never liked wagons. Last few years, I've really started to take a fancy to them.
You're wagon 8.
I'm a wagon guy. I don't even have one. I'm a bit of a wagon guy. I liked the CTSV when it came out, the wagon.
Yeah.
Remember? That thing was enormous. And it just looked cool.
You go back to my forum days, I'm wagon master on every forum.
You are?
Yeah.
George's a wagon guy. You're also Mr. Wood Grain. I don't see you doing anything with wood.
Nope.
Don't see you do anything with wood.
Try not to.
No, I do either. Hate working with wood. I'd rather work in metal. That's why I do metal baseboards at my house. This is the passenger side. Same thing, try and get all that black off. So this is always like a black yuck that comes under here. We're trying to get some of that off there so it doesn't show under the new seal. It comes up. You just got to kind of keep wetting it good lightly on it. Looks nice, huh? That's the belt moldings front and back. Looks very nice. There we go. Let's get outside. Let's get some pictures. That was pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty even. See, what's amazing, it's only 20 millimeters, but it looks pretty low. All right, you wanna go test it? Make sure there's no clunking, I'll clean up. And then we'll pull in the Type S.